because some of the things I'm going to say are going to come across as disrespectful, and that's not the intent. But when we put our hands on our heart and stood in front of that flag, the last 5 words, liberty and justice for all, that's what I believe. That's what I'm willing to die for. So when I first moved out to this community, just like so many others, I fell in love with the people. And day by day by day, I've seen Wrightstown change from something that it was into something that they want to be as Green Bay or an Apple. It's about the revenue. Now, I've also sat here and I've heard people now being able to park campers on their own property, trailers on their own property. That, to me, goes against those principles of liberty and justice. When I first spoke to everybody in this room, it was about an issue about my child with 2 of her friends. They were at the area by the school. They were doing nothing wrong. One of them was laying down on the truck bed, and the other 2 were standing. The police officer found that suspicious activity and wanted to have an interaction and wanted their names and IDs. Now, when I brought this up, no one, and there's familiar faces that are still here, and I'm not here to disparage the police. I am a law and order kind of person. But if there's something that I disagree with, I'm going to say something. And I believe that that policy is a bad policing policy. I did contact 3 lawyers. 2 contacted me back, the 3rd never did. I sat down with the 2. I could have filed, I had a grievance to file, but because my child was not hurt in the altercation, there was no money for the lawyers to gain in the process. So he let it go. But that just goes to validate, once again, the point I'm trying to make. I'm not here to disagree, but if I see something, I'm going to say something. Recently, I had it coming down County Road U. There's construction of vehicles parked on the side of the road. And cars are swerving around it, once again, making it an unsafe road. I thought it would have been simple to come in here and just say, hey, look, please have that vehicle moved. Instead, it turned into an altercation. And it led into something that I said to another individual who works. I'm not allowed to say names. I don't say names. But I don't want to say names because and the other one was Andy, because Andy was in the vehicle during the car show. And I'm still a little upset at this time because, once again, eminent domain was used to take somebody's property. And how did it get to that point? Because we have a realtor and a banker that sat on the board. They rezoned the property, which is a common practice, and then you take the land. And I disagree with those principles. That's not liberty. So, I didn't even know it was Andy, and I got nothing but respect for Andy. He drove by, and I didn't even know he was in the truck. I just saw Village of Wrightstown, and I said, you're ruining Wrightstown. Okay? So that was brought up when I had the altercation with Travis. I thought everything was fine between me and Andy, because as Andy parked the vehicle underneath the bridge, we talked, we hung out for 20, 30 minutes, and everything was fine. I apologized profusely to let him know that I was wrong and I'm sorry. And I thought we were okay until it was brought up again. Now, I don't have any, because if it wasn't for Travis, I would have lost my property. I had nothing but respect for Travis. But I disagree with not moving the vehicle. I believe that there was more to it than that. Once again, when I hear members on the board that want to have fences around people's pools on their own property, or have them put covers on their pool to spend that money. Once again, to me, that's a violation of people's personal property. You know, it trespass on your property, but yet I got to somehow protect everybody from. So I thought, okay, if we're going to be about safety, well then you should be able to move this vehicle without any computation. So now everybody's here about data centers, and once again, it reinforces what I'm trying to say. Wrightstown is a beautiful place, but to some of you, there's nothing it seems like you like about it. You're changing everything about what made Wrightstown special. And bringing in something like a data center, for sure, it would deteriorate that culture even more. We see it now when you have so many heavy vehicles coming in and out, and instead of accommodating with a third lane, you put in a walking trail. You got semis pulling in and out, and people almost get in accidents all the time. We have issues around the school. And once again, I just don't understand. You preach safety, take away our rights and our privileges, but yet when it comes time for you to invoke the same values of safety, 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 you're arbitrarily ignoring those things. So I do not mean any disrespect. Call me if you want to talk. It's honest discussion. I'm always willing to talk. I know you all are very intelligent people. If you were stupid, I'd be the hand do that. But you're not, so I know we can talk. And at the end of the day, we can still disagree, but at least I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It's not coming from a place of hate, because I am going to be getting more active. Because right now, it's just my word against everybody else. But I
Mr. President, I don't mean to cut in, but...
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, sir. Like I said, not at all. Otherwise, I'll keep going on and on and on. So, thank you very much.
Sir? No.
Nick Sagal, 136 Bengal Lane, live in the subdivision right behind high school. Heard a lot about safety from the group. Little concerned, sir, about your original comments that there's no way that the board would ever entertain a pause on data centers to evaluate safety. Did you ask that question? That's the board stance, or that's
my stance.
Does the board have another stance on whether they would entertain a pause? The reason I ask is we're talking a lot about safety. My backyard is the high school. The middle school is across from the high school. The Lutheran school is sitting on D, and your elementary school is right across from us. That means that data center is going to be within 1 to 2 miles of all of the kids in this community. That's reckless. That's not something where you entertain an option. That's something where you say to yourself, is this safe for the people in the community? And having a position of, we're not going to take that pause to look at the data. Because this is happening. Great. I would prefer, how about we never get to having a proposal because we decide right now as a group in the community that we don't want it.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I understand that you all have, protocols that you all have to go through. I understand that. But I just, we moved here 14 years ago. Obviously, selfishly, our home will be directly impacted by what's happened. My wife has a lung condition. I have an autoimmune condition. Frankly, this data center scares me. We would sell our home if it would. Our subdivision is a great place. Like, we have lots of kids. We have a good community bond. And I just see, what's coming. And you see, you look at Fort Washington, you look at all of these other data centers. No one in the community is happy. No one is like, yay, we've got this data center. In fact, they are covering up their vents because for 1 to 3 years they have dust coming in their vents. They have vibrations where all they're hearing is the humming. There's water concerns. There's air concerns. So from every angle, you have safety concerns with this thing. And the other part that concerns me is I understand this board stance that no, you guys haven't been approached and there's no formal proposal. But it also is the understanding that this company is actively doing stuff behind the scenes to purchase or buy properties where this is going to be. That is not transparency. That is not operating under a guise of what I would consider an ethical company. An ethical company would come before the people and would say, we have this plan, this is where we want to put it, we will move forward with proposals to the owners of that home, and we will get community feedback. This feels a lot like a company that's trying to get as much as possible and get as far enough along, so it makes it harder for the community to get together to reverse it. So I just would, for the sake of the community, the kids, the safety, like I said, I literally look at the high school and I look at where they're going to put this. Every football game is going to be, there's the data center. Every baseball game, there's the data center. Is that right, so? Is that what we want? I don't see the pros. And then if there's going to be a position where I'm going to be expected to pay in my taxes towards building something, which, by the way, these only have about 20 to 100 full-time, short-term jobs. So if there's a guise of all this job creation, fly. It's short-term job creation, nothing long-term. It serves no tangible benefit to this community in the long term. Thank you for hearing me.
Ma'am? Sir?
Yep.
So my name is Tom Cross, I live at 139 Golden Lane. I guess just one simple question. I know we talked about we haven't received any proposals or anything like that yet. My one question is to have any officials in this room sign any NDAs in relation to data centers or any development proposal in that sense. Thank you. Sir?
Just real quickly, thank you so much. My name is Janie Black. My husband and I live in De Pere. I supported the residents in Greenleaf. I support the residents of Wrightstown, and I'm an advocate for children's health. I have a question. Will you put discussing a moratorium or updating your zoning so that you're not waiting for a proposal or something on the table? Will you put that on your agenda?
No.
May I ask you why, and why do you get to
We're
decide for everybody?
we are
I'm so
currently
confused.
updating our zone. So
Okay,
as we go through that process, all the hearings, all the notices will be published and open for everybody to come.
so you're currently updating
We've
zoning
been updating zoning for the last 8 months.
No, not for data center. We are up for a comp plan update. It's due every 10 years, so we're in the process of that. Before any of this thing even started, we started our comp plan last year. It's finishing up this year, and we're also working on our zoning because our zoning is out of date.
how could we get the residents' voices involved in putting in language to exclude a hyperscale data center, like other communities have? And why can't we get discussing a moratorium on the agenda? I've served on a city council, like, part of a council before for a different city, and I don't understand how, like, you can say, like, no, that isn't that how we discuss?
It's not that we can't put it on the agenda. We can put it on the agenda, I think. And I don't want to speak for yourself, Mr. President, but it's probably that they won't just blanket today, say, I'm going to put a moratorium.
So do the residents have to, like, so many emails to you guys, or what would you, what would be the goal to get this as an agenda item instead of just us walking away and being, they're not going to do it?
Let me explain.
Okay, thank you.
We are a community of 4 miles, 4.3 miles, square miles. We have, for the last 20 years, tried to bring forward development, businesses along Highway U that have allowed us to grow the community and pay without raising taxes directly to citizens as everything goes up. We know that as a small community, if we stop growing, we're just going to price everybody right out of the community. Because there is no price, or there is no ability to diffuse taxes amongst one body. If you don't add business, you don't add tax base, you have no way to cover your expenses. So we have always looked at any businesses that want to come into the community, and we've evaluated it and we have begun to develop the U corridor as an industrial park. And we will continue to do that, look at opportunities, and evaluate them and determine whether or not they're valid. So, as we consider this in terms of a data center, there are a few things that we assume, and much of what is out in the community is not our assumption. Our assumption is that if a data center would come in, it would consume maybe 500,000 gallons of water. The high school consumes over 1 million. So, relatively speaking, it's not a big deal. If the data center, 1 million gallons is not a big deal. Okay? Our pipeline in Green Bay produces 1 million gallons for the building. It's not a big deal. That being said, if a data center would be located in the area, it is assumed that when it is completed, it will have entire vegetation around the whole thing. So from the road, you will not see it, and you will not hear it. I have given this thought since the day Greenleaf popped.
Yeah,
Okay,
do you know that the diesel generators are located at the data centers? And how bad
I'm
that is?
stating our position and what we expect. So how the thing is actually built, we have the ability to review it, we have the ability to evaluate it, and we have the ability to put our input into that site. Given all of our expectations, if the opportunity comes to us and it doesn't produce that, we can walk away from it. But we don't need to walk away from something we don't understand. It hasn't been produced. It hasn't been laid out. We don't know how it would look, where it would look.
Well, it's
That being said, we are, I understand, and we are Wrightstown. There's nothing in Port Washington that would happen here. Nothing. It's completely different. That being said, the reason why we do it is if it came here, and if it produced $1 billion in revenue, it would reduce the Village of Wrightstown taxes by 50%.
All right, let's get back to this so we can get you. Sir?
Not today.
Not today. Do you, Mr. Menke? Okay. Sir, anybody in the back row? No? Does anybody have anything to say at all? All right, thank you very much. We look forward to future.
Oh, we gotta ask our members online.
Go ahead.
So I'm just gonna go online to folks as I see them on my screen, and then we will work from there. But I'll call you out by whatever I recognize your name on the screen. Rick, do you have anything to add to the conversation, Gerbers?
No, I'm here.
Jason, do I have anything to add to the conversation? Nathan Helbing, do you have anything to add to the conversation? Jess, do you have anything to add to the correspondence or conversation? Patty, do you have anything to add to the conversation? Ian Fitzgerald, do you have anything to add to the conversation? Z's, do we have anything to add to the conversation? Ms. Keller, do you have anything to add to the conversation? I do have your chat, so I will put those along. Christy, do you have anything to add to the conversation?
Actually, I do. I just want to second the first speaker. I just moved here very recently, and you guys have a great community. We love it here, and hate to see this happen. So, yeah, I guess I second everyone that has disputed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie, do you have anything to add to the conversation? CB, do you have anything to add to the conversation? Lindsay Wendland, do you have anything to add to the conversation?
Yeah, so one other thing that my concern is that I haven't heard addressed today is that whoever is coming in to propose this at any point in time, you have to remember it's not going to be the person who owns this down the road. So whatever this developer is promising you, it's no guarantee that that's what it's going to be like in the future. So please keep that in mind.
Thank you. Rick Ettinger, do you have anything to add to the conversation?
Yes, I do, Travis, thank you. One question that I had would be regards to the building phase. With Shandy Road and D being the only points of ingress, egress, and schools right in that proximity, what roughly is the truck count per day to construct this property?
I don't know that, Rick. Again, that would be one of those, I think, investigation pieces that we definitely have to evaluate.
Thank you.
Michaela Cornelison?
No, nothing here.
Thank you. WBAY? All right. Ryan Bingham, do you have anything to add to the conversation? KGP, do you have anything to add to the conversation?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you all for your input.
All right. Anything more, Travis? Gotcha. There is no correspondence then today.
Well, that is all the correspondence.
Yep.
Well, I should say walk.
No correspondence.
So the administrative report's in your packet. So we are currently negotiating with the building inspector, zoning inspector position, and the building inspector.